Now you are coming from different countries. I'm very happy to see you all. Here also we have Sahajayogis from different countries who have come. It's lucky that at this time they are here and you are here. Many people come to India all the time, from all over the world. And if you ask them, they said, we are seeking the truth. So why are you coming to India of all the places? They say that they have learned that the truth is in India, that we have to find out the truth. I must say that in our country also we have lots of falsehood, and lots of false gurus have come just to make money, to befool people, and to some or other destroy our relationships. But I must tell you that India is a very deep country, and the knowledge of this country is not easy for a Western mind to grasp, really, to begin with. Because the reason is, the style of seeking knowledge in India is different, absolutely opposite of what you have in the West. First of all, in India, those who are real seekers and who want to know the reality, they are the ones who see one point, that this is written in our ancient books, described by great saints, as you have also Sufis and all these people there, and also prophets. In the same way, they believe that what they have written is the truth, but they Indians don't challenge it. They don't use rationality to find out. As in the West, that everything you start rationalizing. They don't rationalize. What they do, they believe, because it is told by the saints who are above us, who have reached a state which is much higher than. So now how to tally it is the problem. So to tally it is said that you have to get your self-realization, or the second birth. As Muhammad Sahib talk about it, that you have to have Qiyamah, means you have to have your second birth. If you don't have your second birth, you are not yet a complete person. Once you have your second birth, then you must become also a complete spiritual personality. Unless and until you are a complete personality, you cannot judge these people or have experiments with it. So when you reach that state of, the highest evolution within you, then you can test it, what they have said is the truth or not. But not at this human level. Because at this human level, we are at the most what we are mental. We are physical, emotional, or mental. But we are not yet spiritual. Unless and until you are spiritual, you cannot judge whether something is spiritual or not. All this kind of understanding, all this kind of basically built within us for thousands of years. You see, Indians are not the people who can be taken to rationality, which they think is very low type of judging anything. They have to be in the spiritual realm, in the spiritual personality, to understand spirituality. Now from all over the world, the spirituality is coming, as you see, but reality you can only find in India, I must say very humbly. The reason is, it has been a country for spirituality, not for materialism. So the materialism has not grown so much. All other things have grown in this country, but for spirituality, which it should have been. So people start thinking they are very superficial. They are. The modern generation is very superficial, and they take to all Western ideas and Western thing and Western culture. But our culture is very, very much in the foundation of human beings. Foundation. Like, as you see now, things are happening in the West. We start wondering how these things have happened. It's not allowed in any religion, it's not allowed in any books or anything. Why people are behaving like this? The reason is they have no faith, actual faith. What they do is just to show off or to make a group. They make a what you can call a group to say that we belong to this religion, that religion, that religion. But if you see the Indian philosophy, you will find all the religions are exalted. All this, you can say, all the principles of great religions are there. You cannot challenge it because it is so basically true, that when you see what is written, say, in Quran, we have a book here. I don't know if I gave you that one. We have a very nice book, Light of Quran. So when they read Quran also, they do not read it. When they read Bible also, they don't read it because they are lost in the words. And same thing happening to Indians. All their philosophies and all that, they get lost into the words. So in the web of words, everything is lost. As a result, they do not reach to the principle that is described. That's why we have problems with every other religion. But there should be no problem, because all religions are based on the same principle that we have to achieve our spiritual ascent. There's no other goal. But according to time, you see, they had to put things that this should not be done, that should not be done. All this is due to the time factor which came in their time, and they had to tell about it according to the society in which they lived, according to the behavior of the people of that time. In India, because it's an ancient country, very ancient, somebody told me, Mother, why don't you write a book on Indian culture? I said, it's an ocean, it's not easy to describe an ocean. It's an ocean and it's very deep. But when imbibed and when understood and when you become spiritual with it, then it just sieves into you. It just comes into you. And it shows that every culture of every country is the same. But in Indian culture, it's very, very clearly described. That's the only thing. The same thing is described. I mean, now, say, there's, say, Clinton now is in trouble. In India, he would have been thrown out long time back. You see? Because the value system of morality is very well described in Indian culture. This is not moral, this is moral. And the ruler has to be absolutely a moral person. But in America, it is different. There, as I said, is that perversion has come into the brains of people. And because they have money, materialistic people try to follow American life, which is not congenial. If you go to America, you will find it's not congenial to human beings. It's very destructive. People are very destructive. They have no love. They try to dominate. They have racialism. I mean, they have all kinds of things. While we too have, in our country, lots of bad things have come because of the British rule which came here. Most of our bureaucrats are nothing but British. They dress up like British. Their behavior is like British. I don't say something wrong with the British also. But one thing is there, this country has evolved for so many years. And they try to dominate us so much that none of our we should say literature could come. So much have gone into darkness. The other day, I had an ambassador here from Mexico. And he told me, what is the problem of Mexico? I said, it's the problem of psychological. said, what do you mean? I said, in Sanskrit language we call it Bhutabada. Means the obstruction from the past. Now, they don't believe in a sort of a dead body or a dead person can invade human being. They don't believe. Though Christ removed the, what you call, the devils from the people like that, but they don't believe. Even in Quran, there's a mention like that. But that is all right in Quran. That is all right in Bible. But as far as the belief in the human beings there is, they don't believe. Now if I tell them that the psychosomatic troubles come from the left side attack, that is from the past, from the things that have gone out of circulation from evolution, or you can say dead bodies, dead persons, dead personality. They'll just refuse it to listen to it. But unless and until you believe in it and you experiment with it, how will you be able to eradicate this bad thing? So that is not only there. Every country has this problem. Every country, even England is full of it. I mean, an advanced country like America is much worse. To add up to that, lots of false gurus went to America and have done this one. So on this point, also people don't want to agree. But whether you agree or not, tomorrow you will have to come to it, because if you want to get cured of your psychosomatic trouble, even cancer, even AIDS, all these diseases come only by the attack of these small particles of these viruses which were left out of our circulation through evolution. That will be seen, that is the knowledge to be seen very clearly. Now in Sahaja Yoga many people have been cured of cancer, no doubt. Also of AIDS, they are cured. So many people have been cured. I'm not telling you something false. But for that, one has to understand that there is some power beyond us. Something much beyond. Like Einstein himself has said that there is a kind of an area which he calls as torsion area, which you will see in one of these things. Torsion area, which is beyond our human personality. He calls it, we have to be a vacuum ourselves. We should not exist anymore a physical, emotional or a mental being. When you go beyond that, if there's a vacuum, then only you can feel the torsion area. He's clearly said it. But he was a realized soul himself. So whatever he says, people want to doubt, you see whether it is. So with rationality we start doubting. But not to believe in Einstein shows how arrogant we are. After all, Einstein is saying there must be some in it. Like that, the whole world is going on a very superficial basis. Now, our Sahaja Yoga is a very different thing. It is that we all human beings have a special power, a residual power within us called Kundalini, which resides in the triangular bone, which is called sacrum. Now the sacrum bone means it's a sacred. That means Greeks knew about it. That's a sacred bone. And this power, when it rises from here, goes through the we call it a Sushumna Nadi, the central path of ascent, and pierces through the fontanelle bone area. Then you get the actualization of baptism. Then you become a Muslim. Then you become a Hindu. Otherwise you are not. So it has to come out of your fontanelle bone area and has to go to that torsion area. Understand? हाँ क्या ला रहे? A chart. This is the chart. Can you all see this one? Or we should raise it a little more. No. Now, it is said in our books that such and such power exists and it has to rise. It exists in every human being, whether he is Indian or Egyptian, black or white, anything. If he has, as long as he is a human being, he has this, is a triangular bone down. So it rises through these 6 centers. The 7th center is down. And when it rises to 6 centers, it pierces through the fontanelle bone area, which we call as 1000-petaled center. It becomes one with the subtler energy which is surrounding us, which does all living work. Now you see the beautiful flowers. These flowers are made by whom? You'll say the Mother Earth. But how is it Mother Earth does that? From where does she get the power? How do you run your heart? Ask a simple question. It is, you run your heart because of the same power, that is all pervading divine power of love. It's a power of compassion and love. One should understand the basic. It's not hatred, it's not violence, it is love, it's compassion. And this power works out everything. It works out in such a manner that once you get that, you can feel it on your fingers, all these centers. You can see clearly, there are shown that on the fingertips you can feel what is the center that is catching. You can feel your own. Muhammad Sahib has said very clearly, your hands will speak at the time of Qiyamah. At the time of last judgment, we can call it, or the last resurrection. Your hands will speak. Your hands will speak. That means they will show. Your hands will show what center you are catching. Can you imagine, when he said that nobody tries to analyze, how can our hands speak? But your hands will speak, he has clearly said. And that is what happens to you, that you see your fingers showing you whether you are catching this center or this center or this. This is actualization. This is not just talking, it's not only just describing something, but it happens to everyone and should happen. As a result, what happens? All these centers are responsible for our physical, mental, emotional and spiritual being. So they all get enlightened. They get integrated. Also they are nourished. So all our physical, mental, emotional problems get solved and we become spiritual. Now, whatever country you may belong to, whatever religion you may belong to, you have every right to become spiritual. And when you become that, you'll be amazed to see that so many qualities within us start showing. The first and foremost quality that comes to you is you get a new dimension in your awareness. And what is that? Is collective consciousness. You become collectively conscious. Means you can feel another person. You know what's the problem with that? With love. Not with anger, but with love. You feel one with another person. Once it happens, all quarrelsome things will disappear. The whole world can be changed and transformed. And you, as people who are responsible for the media, can do a lot. But for the media people, it's very difficult because they have got on top of them other bosses sitting, this, that. And if they write anything like that, maybe that it may not be liked, it may not be appreciated. But you have to have courage. And you must write about the truth. If you find it, if you get it, you must write about it. As a result, what happens? Actually, what happens is that we are made of subtler energies. When we talk that this Mother Earth, There are 5 elements which have made us. But these elements are made of subtler energies. Once you become that, your subtler energies start manifesting. And with that subtler energy, you start getting different types of things. For example, they say it is the word, or we call it shabd. And from there it is, another thing comes is nad, is a sound. This is the beginning I am talking about. And with that sound, once you have the sound, then from the sound, all these 5 elements come one after another. But the first one that comes out is light. So such a person starts showing light. You have seen that. See how the light is all over. That is the first. तेजस. तेजस को क्या? तेजस को क्या? इसको निकाल लेते हैं. Radiance of light. Radiance of light. Radiance of light. So that starts. That starts showing radiance of light around a person, as they have shown auras and all that. You must have seen. In so many people they show auras also. The artists have seen auras around realized souls. Then that from the same comes the second subtle thing is Vayu. Vayu, air. Huh? नहीं, Vayu is air. So वो जो cool breeze. So you start feeling the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost as this. This is the second thing. These are all subtle things. Of the air, subtler is Vayu. So it starts. So all subtler energy starts showing. From a jal का भी subtler. हम पकड़ लेते. So from water also you get a subtler thing of jala. Jala is, we can call it a moisture, but moisture is not subtle, but a moisturous person. What happens with a moisture? That your body becomes soft. You know, if you put moisturizing things, your body becomes soft. Your face becomes subtler, and the dryness doesn't come, and your youth is preserved. At least you look young. Your aging doesn't come. Like that, everything starts showing. Then Agni is what? Fire. Then the fire. See, such a person is fire, but he doesn't use because of love, that's very much. But fire can be used for 2 purposes. One is for burning out something, and one for cooking food and doing things. So such a person can create wonderful types of foods and interested in giving good food to people, and that food has vibrations. If the food of such a person has vibrations because it has cooked with that love and passion, compassion. So that you take that food and you become it can call a very tranquil person, satisfied. You get with that very much satisfied. Now, once you people become satisfied, materialism will be finished. Materialism will have no sense, because what is it? Today you buy something, then you go and buy another thing, isn't it? It is all the time you are dissatisfied. Today you want to have a table, then tomorrow you want to have a sofa, then you want to have a car, want to have endless. That finishes. You become very much satisfied. If you buy a table, you will enjoy it. If you buy a sofa, you will enjoy it. You meet somebody, you will enjoy it. So this particular nature that human beings have is what you call the greed finishes. And he is a satisfied soul, he is a happy soul, and he enjoys himself. This is happening with the Agni Tattva Siddha, because this fire becomes a very silent, beautiful, satisfying fire. in the subtle form, when you get it. Then Jala Tattva hai, is the water. Water which is being vibrated, which has got vibrations, can cure you. But normally, you take any water, it's not going to cure you. But water which is being vibrated by some saint or something can cure you. And also you must have heard of many places where they have waterfalls which what you can call are curative type. All this is the subtler side of these five elements. Then the Mother Earth. Certain places are, we call it, as very sacred. For example, Makkah. Now what is so special of Makkah? It's a stone there, that's all. What is so special? The special, according to our Puranas, our old literature, it's Makkeshwar Shiva itself. God has come in the form of that stone, according to Indian descriptions. You can imagine. We have many Shivas, out of them one is in Makkah. So, but to prohibit Hindus to go there is wrong. Because they believe in Shiva, and there is the Shiva there sitting down. Like that, we have all the elements go into transformation and they become subtle. And human beings also become subtle. So they understand that there is no difference between a person living in this country or that country or that country. So all your political problems can be solved. Supposing you give realization to Arafat and to this new president of Israel, no problem. If Israelis and Palestinians are given realization, no problem. They all can live very happily. And there will be no problem because they'll see the oneness. The subtlety that comes is that you feel the collectiveness. You feel one with everyone. And this is the new, we should say, transformation we are waiting for. That way Sahaja Yoga is working very fast all over. But it's not very advertising type, I must admit. I don't like too much of advertisement myself. But it advertises by itself. And the truth about it is that people have experimented and experienced. Now in a place, far-fetched place like Leningrad in Russia, when I went there, I was surprised that we had put one or two photographs here and there, I think, may not be even in the newspaper. And there were 2,000 people who filled the hall. They have limited capacity, you have to pay for the hall people. So outside there were 2,000 sitting. I said, how is it out here? You are all here for what? They said, Mother, to listen to. Then I went inside. I said, all right, let me finish these people and let me finish my lecture. When I came out, you'll be amazed, they were still sitting. I said, what is it? He said, Mother, we are waiting for self-realization. I said, all right, you come tomorrow, all of you, and I'll give you self-realization. You won't believe all these 2,000 inside, out 2,000 outside. There's a very big, this is one thing about Russia, they have huge, big compounds. So many came, and also 1,000 more perhaps. They all came, and we all sat down. They sat on the grass, and I sat on the steps. And I talked to them, and pin drop. And all of them are still Sahaja Yogis, growing very much. I was amazed at how these people are attracted. What has made them come? So they said, Mother, so obvious. Your face. My face, I did not think it was that much remarkable. Yes. We just saw your photograph finished, we know. Now what has happened with them is that with communism, they are very much suppressed. They couldn't express themselves too much. They didn't have that freedom. So they sought their freedom inside. They grew inside. But when we have so-called freedom, you go seen to abandonment, you do all kinds of things in the name of freedom. Human beings have too much freedom when they are in the so-called democracy. So they can become even demons. You see, in a democracy you can become also demonic. So that can happen. But in Russia was, and so many we have now such. I mean, I don't know, countless. You cannot count them as such. Surprising that country has got so many, and they are very satisfied so. And whatever has happened, I told them that, aren't you worried about your political problems? No, mother. I said, why? We are in the kingdom of God, why should we worry? See the satisfaction. In the kingdom of God we are, why should we worry at what's happening in Russia? See, this kind of a mind of thousands of people. See, it's not just a false satisfaction, but factual idea. They are having lots of other things with them. For example, the vegetable growth is gone up. They have everything in that country. But their management is so bad that they are poor, supposed to be. But they are not. Actually, they have lots of things that many countries don't have. But inside I was surprised that people in Russia are the most sensitive. Maybe they were so oppressed and so troubled. So this oppression has gone in the proper way there, that they develop this kind of a sensitivity to spirituality. In our country also we were very much suppressed. But instead of getting into the same mood as the Russians have, we have tried to become British, you see. We are very slavish. Because one woman comes from there who is fair from Italy, we are all surrendered to. Such slavery of fair complexion I've never seen before. But shows our basic slavish mentality. And that's why we have closed all our old books, old knowledge into seed. We are not bothered to see that. And we are incapable of going into it and finding out what is so great about our country. It's so much encompassing the whole universe. And what we can give them the highest, that is the spirituality, which they don't have now, because they have gone into the materialism fully. But all our books, all our literature has gone into waste. Nobody wants to read about it, nobody wants to know about it. Now with Sahaja Yoga, there is a revival in a way, because we have a hospital now, regular hospital, where people are treating all kinds of incurable diseases. But it's so simple. No medicine, nothing, raising your Kundalini, finished. You raise the Kundalini and you get it. You don't have to waste money on medicines. Because what is medicine today? When I was studying medicine, we had to learn each and every medicine, and we had to write a proper, what you call a complete serial number of all these, and a compounder had to make it. But now, all these companies are making what you call antibiotics. For everything happens to use antibiotics. They are not bothered as to how it affects you, what it bothers you. And it has become like that now. We have become so industrialized, you see, doctors, that it is difficult for people to get out of it. Sahaja Yoga, we don't give any antibiotics. We don't give any antibiotics, not at all. We don't give any, only Kundalini rising and vibrated water and all that. Diagnosis also is such a rigmarole. I mean, if you go for diagnosis, you come out half dead out of that diagnosis. But in Sahaja Yoga, you can get it on the fingertips. Even children can tell you what's wrong with them, if you are a realized soul. So such a great science is lost in this country because of a British rule we had. They never bothered to find out what was deep down into this country, such a knowledge, such a treasure of knowledge. So it happens also so that I met him in a very different circumstances, and he was very helpful. And he only told me, how is he here? He said, we are so many of us are here, and who have come for this conference. And so I was very happy. And he said, they would like to meet you, Mother. I said, all right, I would love to meet them, and I'll talk to them about it. Now, as you are all, what you can call journalists, used to questions, I would like you to ask me questions. It doesn't matter.
I have already seen Mataji at Kathmandu because I am from Nepal. And I would like to ask Mataji, how would you find them about religion, how they treat upon religion? What's your views?
How do you reach?
Yeah, upon religion. Yeah.
See, reasoning is done by your brain, isn't it? So-called. But actually it's not brain so much, I should say, but your conditioning and your ego. They give the reasoning. This is the reason, this is the reason, this is. But you reach nowhere. You reach nowhere. You go on reasoning. You'll go mad, but you cannot reach to the point. So if you can stop reasoning and try to see if there's another way out without reasoning, then this Kundalini rising is an ancient thing and can happen to all of you. There's no problem. And once you get it, then you start understanding that there's another system beyond us which guides us, which helps us. So the reasoning takes you nowhere. All the problem of today is because of reasoning.
You speak of a hospital where people are not given medication, but they are healed. Can you tell me more about that?
You are healed.
How are people healed in the hospital?
I told you just now. You see, these are the centers which look after our material side, also our physical welfare. So once it rises, this Kundalini, she nourishes those centers. Now I'll tell you an example, say of cancer. A long story.
Hello.
Now, say, these centers are formed, as you know, within us we have autonomous nervous system. And autonomous nervous system has got 3 channels. The centered one and the 2 others. So, very little is known about this parasympathetic nervous system. About the medical science they know very little. From the left and the right, say, for example, these 2 forces coming and form the central part. In this resides the energy for a particular area. Alright. Now what happens, we start using this either on the right or the left. Say for the journalist, it's more the right side they use. Because they have to think, futuristic, you see all that. Now you start using them too much on this side, so you start moving like this. And there is exhaustion of the energy also. So what happens, suddenly something happens in life, some accident, something, some emotional problem. So the left side, which is the emotional side, just gets out. So as a result, you lose your connection with the whole. With the whole, you lose. So you become working on your own. So you become malignant. This malignancy is the thing that works as cancer. With Kundalini, what she does, she goes here just like a thread, then she goes here, she brings them. And then she nourishes them. So you get cured.
But how does a person reach that state? You talk
That.
about spirituality.
Yeah.
How does...
That's what I'm saying. Your Kundalini has to be awakened. First that has to happen. Then you must have faith in yourself that you can work it out. If you're diffident, see, there are all kinds of people there. There are people who are very guilty. How can I get it? I've done this thing, I've done that. That's one type which catches this sentence. Another kind are very arrogant. They catch on this side, you see. So this has to be corrected.
The vibrated water. The vibrated water you spoke about earlier. Where does it come from?
It comes from people who have vibrations. Those who are realized their souls have got vibrations. They can feel the cool breeze in their hand. Even if they put hand in the water, it is vibrating. All such people, saints and all that, whatever water comes from there is vibrating. For example, the river Ganga here, Ganges, has got vibrations. I mean, you have to become that, then you can feel it now. Unless and until you have that subtle within you, you cannot feel it. To you, everybody is just the same. Every water is just the same. I'll give an example. I went to Kashmir and suddenly I felt, we were going out somewhere, I felt lots of vibrations. So I asked the driver, what, do you have a temple here, something? How do I feel the vibrations? He said, we don't have any temple here. I said, all right, I'll tell you, go this way. As the vibrations were coming, we went that way. There were some Muslim houses, some very poor people. So I asked them, what do you have here? So he said, it's the Hazrat Bal. One hair or Muhammad Sahab was kept. I said, I believe, no, I get vibration. But these stupid people, they didn't know anything what it was. They were fighting for it. And also the driver didn't know what it was. And for 5 miles, before 5 miles, I felt the vibration. So whatever I say has to be tested on vibration, which is your own testing capacity. The capacity otherwise is blunt. It doesn't give you the real picture. But supposing you have vibrations, you can feel it. Who has got it? Where you have it? It's a very subtle thing, but once it is there, it works.
How does one attain state?
Huh?
How does one attain such a state?
Where you can.
How does one attain this state?
It's very simple. You can all attain it here only. It's very simple. Now what has happened is, I would say that in the 12th century in this country, up to that time, we had a group of people called as Nath Panthis. I mean, we had all over the world. There have been so many Nabis, but in this country we had. And it was a law, I mean, you can say a tradition, that one person could realization to another person, only one to one. Then there was a great poet called Gyaneshwara. He wrote all this at the age of 23, you can imagine what he must be. And he asked his guru that he should permit him to at least write about it. So in his book, Gyaneshwari wrote, on the 6th chapter, he wrote about it. Such and such energy sees and all that. But nobody used to give realization. Then in the 16th century, there were many poets who wrote about it. Many Guru Nanaka wrote about it. Kabira wrote about it. Everybody. But nobody understood what they wrote because, see, normally people didn't know what they are talking about. And after that, 16th century, it became just still the same problem that one guru would give it to one person. So, when I was myself a realized soul. And my father himself was a great saint. He told me, as you know, that what is your mission is to find out a way to give self-realization en masse. So I worked it out myself. By chance, or I should by luck, my father was a very social person, and I met many of his people. My husband too, very social. And I used to study human beings. What's the matter? Why can't they get realization? So if I've done anything, it is this, that I've discovered a method by which en masse realization can be. And that's how thousands can get realization at a time.
They can have the experience.
All right. They can all have it. You see, so many Sahajogis sitting here, no problem. All right. Only thing you have to do is to take out the shoes, not the socks, but the shoes will be better. All right. Put both the feet apart from each other. Now, just put your both the hands towards me like that. It is not mesmerism, because I close my eyes, you see. They mesmerize with the eyes. And don't doubt. Just now, don't doubt yourself is the main thing. How can I get it? I have done this wrong, I have done that wrong. So as first of all, you should not have any guilt. You must forgive yourself. At the same time, you should also forgive others. It's very important. Because if you don't forgive others, you play into their hands and bother yourself for their sake. So best thing is to forgive. Forgive them all, one and all. Now many say we can't forgive. Actually you don't do anything. What do you do if you don't forgive? You are just torturing yourself. So best thing is you just feel within yourself, just say that I forgive every one of them. This will open out your throat chakra, which is very important. That will open out completely your also Agya chakra, which is very important. Is the within the optic chiasma you have this. So these chakras are to be opened out by your saying only. It's like we can call it a mantra. By saying that I am forgiving everyone. I want to forgive everyone. I have forgiven everyone. Now you have to ask for it. In your heart, Mother, please give me my self-realization. That's all. You have to ask 3 times, that's all. Now, keep your right hand towards me and left hand on top of your head. Now close your eyes. Top of your head, over the fontanelle bone area. And don't touch your head on top. Bend your head, bend your head. Please bend your head and see if there's a cool or a hot breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Close your eyes and bend your head. See for yourself. You can move your hand and see. If it's hot, means you have not yet forgiven. That's important. But doesn't matter. Even if it is hot, it's all right. It's throwing away all that ill feeling within you. So it's hot. Now put the left hand towards. Now with the right hand, please bend your head. With the right hand, bend your head and see for yourself. You can move your hand up on the sides and see for yourself there's a cool or a hot breeze coming on you, in you, through you. But don't doubt yourself. You all can get it. You all are quite capable of getting it. So don't doubt yourself. Now raise your hands a little higher. Open your eyes. Some of you are getting here and here. So you have to turn it upward like this if you are getting that way. From here to here. Doesn't matter. Now see for yourself.